So I'm just excited, I'm beaming, right? Because right now, coming to the up late stage, I must say upstage late. Coming to the up late stage is the president of Cricket West Indies Incorporated, Mr. Wycliffe Dave Cameron. Yeah, we do Toasty on Upley. Yeah, that's a Vincentian brand. Yeah.
Toasty.
Yeah. So you drink Toasty when you're thirsty. Yeah. Please have a seat.
Thank you.
So I was telling my audience a little earlier that I actually tried out for the West Indies twice before. You know, I wrote a nice little essay about bowling and how to take wickets and so on. And that was my tryout, because all of us aren't athletically gifted, but I could write.
And anybody responded to
That's the thing, nobody. so, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking that now that you know what's going on, I could write.
Write it to me.
Write it to you. CC to who? To Kishore?
CC to Kishore and Chief Selector.
Yeah. Look for me in Bangladesh. Where's it the T20 champion, the next World Cup been held
The next World Cup is in Australia, next 2020. The next 50 over World Cup is in England next year.
Next year. So look for me in England next year, because my father will hook me up and things and so on, right?
Anything for you?
Now we're talking. So who is well, first of all, you have a name. I mean, I always heard the name Dave Cameron. But you know, in my research I realized your name is Wycliffe.
That's correct.
What's the history behind Wycliffe? Because the only other Wycliffe I know is the Haitian pop singer.
Well, my mother foresaw that I would be someone very famous, so she gave me Wycliffe. But because I didn't born famous, she said, I'll call you Dave until you become famous. Then we'll start calling you Wycliffe.
So you use the
So now you can start calling me Wycliffe.
Okay, because you're famous. I hear you.
No, but again, you know, from our past, most of us, we get what we call a pet name. So you're named properly, and then your parents give you another name for whatever reason.
Right, yeah.
So Dave, and in cricket, because I grew up in cricket near to where I live, my name in cricket is Dave.
Okay.
And so if you knew me formally from school, you'd know me as Wycliffe.
Okay. What's your cricketing background prior to this real big important position there?
How much time you have?
Listen, man. For you?
No, so I started at I would say ground zero. As a youngster, I started to score the board, carry water, roll the pitch, played for all the teams, representational teams at Kensington Cricket Club where I grew up. Played for my school, high school, under 14, under 16, under 19, vice captain. Went to national trials a couple of times, went to university. And then managed the teams in 1997, and that's when I got onto Jamaica Cricket Board, and I was a treasurer, and I did fairly well there, and they asked me to be the representative on the West Indies Cricket Board, and that was 16 years ago.
Oh, so you've actually been in administration quite a long time.
A very, very long time.
Okay. What about, you said instead of pursuing cricket at a professional level, you went on to university?
No, I didn't. Instead, I didn't have a choice at the time. No, by the time I was in, I went to national youth trials under 19, 2 years. By the second year, I was already in my second year at university.
Okay.
And I did hotel management, which was in the Bahamas. So, Bahamas was not a very good, big cricketing nation. So, of course, my game went backwards after that. So. By the time I came back from university, all my peers had gone way ahead of me. So I went back and I played senior cup cricket for about a year or two, and then I got into administration because I was in Ochiras up in the north in Jamaica. I got into administration. Then I moved back to Kingston, finished up my master's, and then started to manage a team. So I retired at about 23.
Yeah. I guess you didn't fare a lot better than me, at least, but at least you played. You did play some. I mean, my experience in actually playing cricket is limited to coconut bat and orange. you know.
I
And
used
when
to-
I'm out,
I used to
if
play
it's
some
my
of
go
that
out bat,
too. Yeah.
I take in the bat and go
And you
home.
go.
Yeah.
I used to play some of that too.
Match done.
Yeah.
You know.
I played quite a bit of that. Like I said, I grew up Kensington and Lucas, so I grew with people like Chris Gale is a few years younger than me, but his family and my family are very good friends. We grew in the area, Wavell Hines, Robert Haynes. So that's the background from whence I came.
Okay. What would you say is a major achievement as a national administrator that may have propelled you or created that thrust from people who know you that say, look, I think you should be pushed forward to be our director on the West Indies board?
Yeah, I think it's been progress, successes, and different things. So when I managed the Kensington team after coming back to the club, I was told I had to manage a team because now you're a youngster, you're making money and you don't have any family, so you don't need to spend money on the team. I got my bank at the time to sponsor the team.
Okay.
And we started to, try and get a little bit more professional. So I got tracksuits for the team. We started to warming up, and we won the tournament with like 2 matches to spare the year. Then, at the same time, the former president, Pat Rousseau, started this semi-professional league, and we drafted a couple of players in Jamaica. I remember Patterson Thompson, Philo Wallace, Junior Murray came into our team, and they had a 6-team tournament. And we won that again, hands down. And I think that is kind of the successes from there is where the local body then said, we think we'd like to have you on the Jamaica Cricket Board. When I went to Jamaica Cricket Board, our finances were in dire straits. And within a couple of years, I sorted that out as well.
Okay.
And they said, well, I think we'd like you to represent us at the West Indies Cricket Board. And so that's been the track record so far.
You became the president of West Indies Cricket Board, which is now Cricket West Indies, in what year?
2013.
2013. You replaced Julian Hunt, was it?
Julian Hunt, yes.
All right. How would you describe the progress that at least the administrative aspect of the board has made under your tenure?
Well, it's been interesting. Again, I just believe that if you don't have resources, then everything else you want to do and all your aspirations, you're not going to be able to achieve it, right? So prior to taking over my administration in 2013, we had an accumulated deficit of about $6 million US, and we were losing money every year. As at last year, we had an accumulated surplus of about $6 million. So we've been able to turn that around in about 4 years. This year we have a very challenging year because of the tours, and we will lose significant money. But next year we'll make, again, a significant amount. And but the point I'm making is that our financial resources weren't being managed to the best of their ability. Now, coupled with that, we were spending, and we were not spending any money on development. What have we done in the last 4 years? We've moved from maybe 20 professional players to close to 200 players in the region. And add administrators to that, add coaches, physios. We have a number of persons now having an opportunity in cricket. And that's something we stated when we came in creating the cricket industry. And so I think we're now starting. We're a long way to go. We're seeing some progress. Some of the teams are looking competitive. We just had a B team in Canada.
All right, I heard about that. We came, second?
I think did themselves very well. All of them are, I think, under 23. So very, very young squad. So we're starting to see some progress.
Are you happy with the progress of the current West Indies outfit, the current West Indies team?
No, I wouldn't say I'm happy. I think we should have won the Sri Lanka series at least 2-0. That didn't happen, or maybe 2-1. I will be happy when, after the India tour, we'll be able to assess that away. Our batting is not where I'd like it to be. Obviously, we've seen some progress in the bowling.
Right.
But it's all work in progress. Like I said, it's a young team, and they're starting to show signs. So we're not happy yet. We're seeing progress, however.
But our team has been starting to show signs for quite a number of years. You think about us in West Indies, right? We love our cricket, and any little glimmer of hope gives us reason to go. The team is turning the corner. We won our first test after 2 years. Sometime in 2012, we won our first series after 3 years. In 2012, then we won a T20 World Cup, and we thought, yeah, boy, West Indies is on its way back, and then a bunch of dismal results follow. That inconsistency has the management of West Indies been able to place its finger on the root cause or causes of that level of inconsistency?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. As I was saying to you before, what happened and what has been happening, we didn't have proper development. So what used to happen prior to 2013 is that we were throwing in players from an amateur status and hoping that they would be good.
Right.
Now we have a proper system. We have 90 players, a minimum of 90 players that are contracted all year round. And you would know that there are more Vinces now getting opportunities to play for West Indies than any time before now.
I think we're Saint Vincent, so we need to have a clap for that, right? All right. And next year,
absolutely.
Vinci,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I hope Sonny Lambis will be back in the team very, very soon.
Right.
He did very well yesterday. We have numerous A-team tours and creating opportunities for B teams, etc. So now we can actually see players at the age of 24, 25, they've played 50 first-class games. We can now assess them and see if they actually will be able to make the transition to test level. It's a huge jump. And before 2013, we've given a lot of players caps at 20 and 21, hoping that they'll be able to make this step in test cricket. We don't have to do that anymore. We actually have a nursery development school that we can actually take the players through and make sure they have all that they need in order to be successful. So if you were to take a step back and forget about the successes of West Indies 20 years ago and leave out the 2 World Cups we won in 1975 and 79, Cricket West Indies is the most successful cricket board in the world.
Really?
In the last 6 years, yeah. We've won 4 championships. There's no other cricket board in the world that has 4 championships in the last 6 years. So, but again, our issue is
that would
talking
be
about
2 T20s, the female and the under 19.
All
right, that's correct. That's correct.
Correct. But we're caught up in Test cricket and what that has been for us, and that's very important for us. But we have an audience, one, and we have our people who want to play T20 in a shorter format, and because it's more lucrative. So we have a challenge in trying to get our players loving that format, wanting to play it, giving them the right tools and the mindset. And we have a number of players on this side who are doing very, very well for themselves around the world, playing T20 and doing well.
How do you reconcile that though? Which is you have Test cricket, which is seen to be almost a dying something, and you have the more lucrative T20, which more than anything else we seem to be excellent at, because we ranked almost way to the bottom in both other formats. But in T20 we won 2 World Championships. Could it be that maybe we need to focus more on what we're good at and forget about those areas that we are good at?
So what I'd like you to do is come over here now and answer that question.
Okay, let's try that. but under one condition. When I come over there, I become president for a year.
Absolutely. And I'll interview you and ask the question. No, it's tough. Because the truth is, and you know, I say it all the time, we are creating an industry for players and to give them opportunities. So we want players to play in those leagues.
Right.
But we're saying to our players also that this thing called Cricket West Indies cricket, is very near and dear to our people's hearts. And you need to balance it as to you need to come back and represent our people, because this is what we do and this is what people know us by. And it's very important for us. So we continue the discussions. We're giving players more and more opportunities. And I believe we'll continue discussions. We have had discussions at the ICC about limiting the amount of leagues each player can play a year. Don't necessarily think that's a solution. I think one of the solutions would be having designated time slots for international cricket
Right.
versus domestic cricket,
Right.
and to make sure that everybody can coexist. Obviously, 2020 cricket is what's going to use to grow the popularity of the sport, and it's very important. But you, our fans, our trusted fans in the diaspora, want to see us win Test cricket.
Of course.
Yeah, but the majority of the people and where the money is in 2020
T20.
cricket.
Yeah.
So how do you tell your son or your daughter who's growing up that, you know, I really wanted to be a doctor because it's a noble profession and there's more money in modeling and all these other things, right? So,
Yeah.
you know,
That's a challenge.
That's a challenge.
That's a challenge.
And remember, you know, the youngsters are looking on, they're seeing how well the other players are doing in T20. But I believe we have enough talent, and that was one of our stated objectives, to broaden the talent pool.
Right.
So we have enough players that we can always choose within the formats. And so if players are choosing to play in another event or whatever, then we can easily put players in. And I think the selectors are starting to have that headache now.
All right.
And so that's a good sign.
All right. So far the chat has been going good, but we're going to take a break. When we come back, we got to talk some controversy, right? Because we know that there was a bit of it over the last couple of years. And I know Dave is ready to deal with it. And if he's not, oops. So we take a break, and we come right back. We continue our chat with David Cameron. Don't go away.
On Friday, August 31st, join the Friends of Sinal Inc. on the boat ride. Denims and White aboard the Golden Sunshine from Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn Pier number 9. Boarding time 6 p.m. Departure 7 p.m. sharp. Tickets at $40 available from any member of Friends of Sign Hill Inc. Music by DJ Super Eyes, D1 Entertainment and DJ Laga. It's the boat ride. Denims and White. For more information, call 917-560-0432, 347-262-8014, or 646-248-3995. For Denims and White, you don't want to miss it.
Searchlight Online, now stronger and better, and with more options for everyone. Download the free app and access the e-paper and breaking news. Check out our e-paper's read aloud and translation features. Read our e-paper in different formats, even when you're offline. Access our online archive as far back as 2005. Only interested in viewing ads? Go directly to our print ad marketplace. Subscribers get exclusive access to a full-color midweek e-paper edition, in addition to the weekend edition. Affordable monthly, quarterly, biannual, and annual e-subscription plans. Book, submit, and pay for advertisements online. Go to www.searchlight.vc for more details. Searchlight, journalism you can trust. Now stronger, better, and with more options for everyone.
Online. Thank you so much for sticking around with us. And those of you in the studio, you're looking lovely. Don't only do just that the camera can't show you because they also want to the audience and so forth. And as a rule, we do not show our audience, right? But thank you so much. Don't forget to check out the Cultural Expo of Club Saint Vincent in Brooklyn, New York on the 25th of August. It's their annual Cultural Expo. It's at Friends of Crown Heights, 675 Prospect, I believe it is. Prospect Place. You can see authentic Vincentian things on display. Go sample authentic Vincentian food. Lots of entertainment from Vincentian performers. Scorcher, Gloria Williams, the storyteller, Jamal, Said, Bowman, and Pan. That's the 25th of August. All right. Also, check out the social newspaper tomorrow. They're on newsstands everywhere. You hear about the 3 persons who were shot in the robbery. Gunman in Green Hill goes down President of Green Hill goes down in a hail of bullets. NDP teachers awaiting their judgment. All of that and a whole lot more. Oh yeah, the highway being named after Mandela. You have a something to Mandela in Jamaica, don't you?
Mandela Park.
You have Mandela Park. Well, we just had the renaming of a highway in Saint Vincent after Mandela. Something that
should be an honor.
It generated quite a discussion, which to me is healthy, by the way.
Absolutely.
Discussion is healthy, and I'll address that towards the end of the show, but that's fine. So yes, check out the social newspaper tomorrow, available on newsstands everywhere. Journalism you can trust, all right? Oh, by the way, the West Indies Under-19 tournament, if you haven't seen the ad, it's going to be right here in Saint Vincent and Grenadines. Right here.
July 25th.
Right here. We have a bunch of teams.
Future stars.
Yeah, future stars. All right, so that's happening right here in Saint Vincent and Grenadines. And later on one of our shows, we'll have the president of SVG Cricket to talk about that. All right, so you can hear more about that going now. Now, during your tenure, Dave, and by the way, during the break, Dave was reminding me that the former Prime Minister of England is also David Cameron, all right? So my advice to you, don't hold a referendum. All right. Whatever happened in West Indies cricket, no referendum, boss. Trust me. Right. So let me rephrase it and put it differently. Your tenure as president has had its moments of controversy.
Absolutely.
Going back to the player issue in, I think it's 2014. Looking back on that, what would you or should you have done differently?
The only thing I think we should have done differently was communicate with the players directly during the negotiations. But I think the history of how we dealt with the Players Association was that we dealt with the Players Association, not with the players. And that was the only thing that I think we would have done differently. But when you look at what happened in 2014, one has to go back and look at the history of West Indies cricket. There have been many disruptions in West Indies cricket, and all of them have occurred when there's a change in the fortunes of the game, a rapid change as a matter of fact. And so if you go back to the 1970s when there was Kerry Packer, we had those disruptions. Then we fast forward a little bit to South Africa in 1981-82, and then the T20, the coming of T20 tournaments. And so it has always happened in West Indies cricket. Our response this time was we felt we're not going to ban anybody, but we had to change what we were doing in West Indies cricket. Like I said before, we were paying 15 players 60% of the earnings of the organization, and it was just not sustainable.
Right.
And we had to change that, and we felt we spent 18 months at least negotiating a new package that would be able to sustain West Indies cricket and grow the number of players and the development that we spoke about. Today we have 3 teams playing. The West Indies team is now preparing for a test match in Guyana. We have a A team in the UK, just finished a game yesterday. We have a B team that just came home from Canada on the weekend. Our women's are just taking a break and getting ready to play South Africa in a little while. And so with all of that, we were not able to do that prior to 2014. We just didn't have the resources to do it. Now we're in a better place. And I'd just like to say, we've been able to do it without the support of the government. Imagine if we had government support, how much more we could do. And so I don't think we had a choice then about whether we would change the system or not. We had to change it. What I would have hoped is that the players would have given me an opportunity to speak to them because they refused to speak to me when they were in India about the situation. Because first thing I heard, there was an issue, I offered to speak to them and they decided they didn't want to speak to me. They instructed the Players Association that they will instruct them what they need to do. And I think we've been through that before. As a matter of fact, in 2009, right here in Saint Vincent, I think we had the last major strike prior to that one. Okay. And that's when I think we hit rock bottom, because that was when Bangladesh beat us here 2-0 in 2009, and that was the lowest we got.
Bangladesh?
In world cricket. And it's taken us 9 years to start the climb back up. But I think, again, I know we have enough players now, and you'll see for yourself, enough quality players. We have a couple of fast bowlers, young fast bowlers coming in. And we have some very good fast bowlers that are making their way up the ranking chart.
I saw Jason Nola jump quite a few places recently.
Correct. And so we're in a good place. And the difference I'm saying this time is that we can sustain it. You know, if Jason Holder doesn't play tomorrow, we have somebody can come in. He's not going to be the Jason Holder. If Shannon Gabriel doesn't play tomorrow, we have somebody can come behind him. And I think that's the same thing for the batters.
Do you think that in that situation that happened in India and I think went on, what was protracted for a while, that maybe personalities got in the way and prevented a resolution?
No, I don't think so.
That persons took it personal, maybe?
No, I think if anybody took it personal was the players, because I think, I'm not sure, Dr. Kishore wasn't on the board at the time, but the majority of the board members felt we should have banned the players at the time. And there are a lot of people around the world as well, and West Indians felt we should have banned the players. I was the one who, unfortunately, I think bore the brunt of it, and I was the one who stood up for the players and that we're not banning the players. Because, things have gone down not in the best way, but we need to also continue to compete, but we have to change the system. And we will continue to communicate and dialogue with our players and hope that they'll understand that the system has to change. And what we've done is, let's take an example of Ashanda Paul, who stopped playing cricket 4 or 5 years ago and has still continued to make a living from the territorial board contracts. And that's what we were setting up. So, we now have territorial board contracts ranging from between 15 and 30,000. So your son, your daughter, can be assured of a 20-year journey, a 20-year work occupation with cricket. You play for a few years with your territorial board. Hopefully you get better. You can get into the West Indies team. You have a career there 10, 15 years. And then you can wind down by playing back for your franchise to pass on what you've learned to the next generation and then bow it into your next life. So what we've done is, we just couldn't wait. And it's not revolutionary. It's not. Right. It's just what everybody else has been doing. And we haven't done it for 20 years.
Okay. Pointed question. Pointed straight. Is Darren Sammy Bravo being punished? Are they being punished?
Punished for what?
Well, we know that at the end of the last World Cup, Darren Sammy made some comments that people thought were out of place.
Okay.
And also Bravo, I think, made some comments as well. Are they being punished for those comments?
Well, let me tell you. Let me say something to you, Sian. We at Cricket West Indies believe that the brand stands for something and represents all of us. And while I'm the chairman of the West Indies Cricket, I think discipline and the way we conduct ourselves is just as important on as that is off the field.
Right.
And so we've taken a zero tolerance around certain things, and we need to be very clear. Nobody wants anybody to be a yes man.
Right.
But we must conduct ourselves with decorum. Absolutely.
And then that's your answer. Listen, I used to be a diplomat. I could not have given a better answer. Right? With all my diplomatic training and experience. You seem to be not happy based on comments, with at least the direction in which things are going. In terms of development, we just had the recent success over the Bangladesh, and we hope that we'd go on to do better in the one, well, as good in the one and T20 series. What is next for Dave Cameron, and as it relates to West Indies administration?
Yeah, well, we've just started, and again, thanks to Dr. Shallow, who has come on board and is helping us in a lot of...
Dr. Shallow is from... Yeah, please. Because I'm about to brag about Dr. Shallow. Yeah. Dr. Shallow is from North Leeward, like myself.
Okay.
You understand? Okay. The Leeward man, young man, like myself. Don't cough. And by the way, that cough
young man, like myself.
That cough is my daughter. She's trying to tell me something, but that's all right. And I'm really happy that Kishore has made the transition into administration and seems to be doing a fantastic job. But you were saying?
Yeah, no, we have a number of things coming. We are expanding our Cricket West Indies. As you know, we've acquired the formerly Sticky Wicket grounds, or the Stanford grounds, is now owned by us jointly with the government of Antigua and Barbuda. We'll be relocating our head office there. We'll be, reinvigorating the restaurant. We have an athletic club, car park facilities, and we'll be building what we're calling the cricket experience at that ground. So a lot of things to come on that side. On the cricketing side, we just want to again build out our academy system across the region. And again, I like to tell people, an academy is not necessarily a place. It's all the things that we do in high performance that will generate not just a cricketer, but a wholesome human being for our society. So we want to be able to, put that across the region, and that way we'll be able to sustain the next West Indian cricketer going forward. So still a lot to do. Like I say, when we get to India and our performances in India will tell me just how much progress we've made and how much more we need to go in order to be competitive all across the format.
All right.
And I must remind all the viewers that we are defending champions.
Yeah.
Women's World T20 coming up in November. That's going to be held in Guyana, St. Lucia, and Antigua.
So World T20 is would be held here, females.
Women World T20, and we are defending champions.
Yeah.
Defending champions.
When you guys going to bring back matches to Saint Vincent? We are the most picturesque ground in the whole world.
As soon as the comrade builds some rooms that the teams can stay at.
Right.
And I've said that to him. As soon as the Prime Minister, that's a challenge. That's a big challenge. And I've spoken to Dr. Shallow about it as well.
Right.
The teams require a certain level of rooms and accommodation and facilities. We need gymnasium, swimming pool, all of these things. And until they have those facilities, we're not able to host international games.
Things coming. I'm looking forward to having a lot more rooms.
Yeah, I enjoyed coming to Saint Vincent. I used to stay at Buckerman Bay.
Yeah.
In the years when we hosted international games. Yeah. So as soon as you're up to speed again, I'm sure we'll have international games.
What's the relationship with you and Comrade though? I think
the Comrade and I are very good friends.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact.
So you guys shook hands and over this party y'all had the other day?
Well, the Comrade's view is that he is an agitator, and his view is that I didn't agree with his views at the time, but the reason why we are friends is that we both want the same thing.
Absolutely.
Actually,
all of us want the same thing. I don't think there's any West Indian who doesn't want what you guys want, which is to see West Indies back on top.
Correct. You just don't have all the information that I have and the challenges. That's what I'm saying. So when you're ready, just come and sit by me.
Yeah.
And you'll probably make some of the same decisions.
Let me do it when you go India now. So you can sit. Yeah.
Not a problem. Not a problem. It's, again, like I say, is when you have the information that I have, then you'll probably make similar decisions. And it's scarce resources. Like I say, we get no direct funding from any governments in the region. So everything that we're doing is generating funds from sponsorships, TV sales, tickets, and that kind of thing. So, imagine what we could do if we had direct government support.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Cameron. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we wrap up with the